Oh, okay. I'm alive. It'd be really funny if we weren't. I was just talking like we were alive this entire time. You'd be like, wait, no, this is wrong. Hey, DD. Hey, Entropic. Thanks for coming. Thanks for lurking. As I wait to get a hyperlink for... Oh, there it is. Ardenfell. We're not Ardenfell. Oh, well. Can we change it while we're streaming? The name
Yes,
bird?
I can do
We
that.
can. Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll tweet while you do that.
Yeah, that is my bad. I forgot that I
Oh, don't worry.
should have done that.
It's kind of nice that we've all have like assumed rules now in all this, eh? Like,
Yeah.
I always tweet. You always change toodles.
Mhm.
And Piph has been our streamer, our main streamer this entire time.
Yeah.
What? Okie dokie. Artichokey. Hello, everyone. Hello, and the DM said, let there be riffs, and there was riffs. There was. And then Tropic, you said something very nice that you recently got into riffs. So it might be a treat to check out these streams, and thank you for saying that. But it's more of a treat to have you here to experience it with us, and
Oh,
not
nice.
just you, but everyone else too. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's
the 10th.
It is the 10th today. Yep. And
all
what's
changes are saved.
really nice is that although like the game isn't completely interactive with the chat, right? Like you guys can't influence what's happening on. It's still one of the reasons why we wanted to do this live, because we could just play this game and just play it ourselves, right? Keep this for ourselves, right? But since we're all Let's Players, I mean, there is something to be said about, sharing what we do with people. So getting that feedback, getting such creative input from like the artistic visual art, or like people making memes, or someone made like song lyrics and poems and fan fiction, although all the fan fiction has been spoofed for the most part, except for one, which was like actual, like legit fan fiction and very good. But yeah, or just being around and talking. And just being you. And of course talking about riffs. I love this game. If it were a religion, I'd be on the street corner, like with the main rule book in my hand, screaming at passersby. Do you know what a juicer is? Do you? You could play a dragon. It's all about storytelling. Oh, God. And not just storytelling, but having sweet-ass combat with giant robots and fucking spaceships and power armor and magic and psychics and everything. T-Rexes with cannons coming out of their heads. Oh, good. Good, Mr. Entropic Radar. Tell your GM I say you're welcome. Roll20 is great. Roll20, in my opinion, has or tabletop simulating platforms like Roll20, or the tabletop simulator on Steam, or a bunch of other stuff. I've always figured out that the hardest way to get people together to play a game is to get all together in one space, right? Because first you need people who live in the same city, and then people in that same city, all have to come over to one location. Well, it's hard enough to find people with schedules that meet up, let alone like literally traveling to the same place. So the internet helps so much, like, because without Roll20 or another type of tabletop thing, there's no way. We live. I live in bloody Canada. I mean, and everyone else is across the United States, including our fine Hawaiian friend here, right? So
Hello.
hello,
I mean,
hello, that's me. Oh yeah,
aloha.
aloha. Do people say aloha a lot, like in just common parlance, or is it mostly just for the tourists?
It depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to a local guy, then yes. If you're talking to a tourist, probably not. If you're talking to a local guy like me, probably not.
Okay, good to know.
Like, I usually don't care, but there are mokes. That's what they're called.
Okay, is
And
that like
native
the native
Hawaiians.
population of Hawaii?
Um, no, it's hard to describe. They're
They're-
locals that take being local very seriously,
Oh, I get it.
and
They're
I don't.
hardcore Hawaiians. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah. Well, they're not always Hawaiian. Sometimes they're Filipinos. Sometimes they're Japanese. Yada 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 yada.
Gotcha.
There's actually very few Hawaiians here,
Hmm.
hilariously enough.
Well, I don't know if that's hilarious or just tragic, but interestingly enough, yes.
Okay, interestingly enough, my bad.
Oh my god. Hey, are you back, Criana? Nope. She she's not muted on this end, so I thought she was maybe back.
No.
Squee will be along in probably just a few minutes. He had to run out and do something and come back, so he's going to be a half hour late. Normally we start about 7:30, well 7:30 my time, so half an hour ago. But well, we got a little bit later. It's fine. This isn't like a job interview.
Hey guys,
I'm not
sorry,
going to
tech
tell.
support is needed again. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Dude, that's cool.
Piph isn't even here. It's just me and Bern hanging out.
Mhm.
Roll a d20. Don't roll a d20. It'll be useless. It's a
I click D20. I roll a 9.
you.
I roll a
miss.
useless 9.
You miss. You miss because I'm over 50 feet away. I'm definitely more than 50 feet away from you, so you don't hit me.
Well, damn.
I know. I have not. Dinosaur Swamp is one of the few world books I have not read. I don't own it yet. I'm curious about it, which is really funny because when I was a kid, this was in the early to mid 90s, so dinosaurs were super popular, and I love dinosaurs. Oh, I love dinosaurs so much. So Dinosaur Swamp, you would think would be right up my alley, but I haven't had a chance yet. Not yet. Not yet. But soon. Do I have a list of my house rules? Yes, I do, actually. In fact, tell you what, I'll do you a solid right now. I will, unless it's already at my Dropbox. I think it might be. Yeah, my custom combat guide is already here. So here, give me a second. Let me share you my Dropbox link.
Did you update it recently with the whole guarding without a melee weapon? Because I remember we did that.
Yes. I don't know if I updated that part though. I have updated it since. I don't know about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so now those are my house rules. Now some of that is up to date, like how I do initiative is completely out of date now. It uses something very similar, except you don't count out the fucking turns. You just do it like the way we do it, right? So it requires some alteration, but how everything else goes, like the penalties that I use for stuff and things like that, should give you an idea of how I house rule stuff. It's a pretty light touch. There's some house rulers that get pretty H-core. Hey, Piph.
Hello.
So Criana's tech support had to do tech support again for a moment.
Ooh.
So we'll start when Criana or Squee gets in. Preferably both.
Yes.
We could show some art in the meantime if you like.
Oh, right. We did actually get
Ooh.
a slew of art this past week between sessions.
Take us through it.
Let's see if I can actually get this thing proper. It's proper enough. Proper enough. It's going to be tad off center. Whoopsie poopsie.
That's okay. We'll forgive you.
I
For
hope
now.
so. Yeah. I should probably get like an area specifically just for showing people's art, but I haven't had the foresight for that, so we're gonna have to have this for now.
That's more than fine, my friend.
So as the bottom shows, this is the second page of this fine fellow who did a comic of Tom's backstory. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so we're going to move on to the next one. Which, if you have not seen the last episode, this is something that Mila saw in when she tried to read surface thoughts of a fine gentleman.
Yes. Fine gentleman named Killian Blackwater.
Mm-hmm. So, very nice. I like that quite a bit. A nice drawing of Al's horrific image. Can't remember the name of it. I have it on my character sheet. Why don't I look at that? Horrific illusion. There you go. Horrific illusion, which allows somebody to see a horrific illusion. Tiny children with knives.
Yep.
Was this man's illusion, and it didn't bode well for him. For us, it may have helped us, but this guy was not having a good time.
No, he was not.
No. And back to the man who's actually did a few of the comics. Here is Al's character before he did a body swap. Which, farther and farther into the campaign, that just sounds so neat that, like, even during our campaign, some of the characters actually swapped bodies. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It is. It is.
And his past signature, robotic eye. And now this is his new Al.
Wow. Al 2.0. Or more like 2.elf.
2 point years.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now that that's settled, I believe is back to static screen of our Rifts little thing.
Right.
It looks a lot better than my off-centered shenanigans.
Well, there you go. So we'll definitely have to wait for Criana before we can start, because Squee just sent me a message, and it looks like he has been delayed almost indefinitely now.
Whoa.
So he probably won't be able to make it. So we'll wait for Criana to come on by, and then we'll start.
Okay.
He says he'll listen to see what happens throughout the week, so that will be that. It'll be like, I think the last time that we played without Squee was when you guys were in Greencastle and all sorts of shenanigans happened.
Yeah, Squee kind of did things.
Smuggled a bunch of people out by pretending to be the cult of Tyrath. You know, no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I probably should note, unless some sort of weird accident or miracle or whatever the flip it may, divine intervention, I'll most likely not be available next Sunday. I'll be at a wedding.
Hooray!
So,
marriage.
Nobody that you guys know, but, relative. Let's just put it like that. It's a relative.
Gotcha. Buster Bro, we record with Open Broadcaster. Right? You're recording with Open Broadcaster.
I am streaming with Open Broadcaster,
Streaming.
yes.
Yeah.
The recording is actually is actually kind of a YouTube thing where they actually archive it and put it onto YouTube.
That's true. As for like with LPs and stuff, I used to use Fraps for quite a bit of time, but then I became really picky and I found out that OBS had a really good recording option, so I mostly now just record with OBS. Which is funny. Hi, Spicy.
Hello, Spicy.
We're just waiting for Criana to get in before we dig into the game proper. No, you actually missed nothing. We had a late start because Squee was going to be late. Now Squee isn't coming, and then Criana had to be a little late because she's doing tech support for a family member, and she's actually finishing that up now. So you actually haven't missed a darn thing. Not a darn thing, just us talking, bullshitting, you know.
Is it set in stone that Squee's not going to be around?
Oh, it's pretty set in stone.
Okay. Well
That's
then,
okay.
do we have anything to discuss? I think we were supposed to come up with a plan.
Well, you didn't have to, but you guys can, if you guys want to, you guys can start talking. You and Piph can start talking about it now for sure. Or ask me questions about the world or whatever.
Could I get a reminder on where we ended?
We ended with Killian screaming towards the minor innocents. Then a few minutes later, Nocturne radioing you and telling you to stay exactly where you were until further notice.
Okay.
Like, stay where you were inside the Rhapsody, inside your ship.
Okay.
Not to use your engines or anything else like that.
So, do you think we should just chill for a while, Piph, or do we want to try something? Because, if I recall correctly, we can't use the bag for another 24 hours or so. So we can't get the two things that we were interested in at the end of last session, which was the voice changer and the three-eyed goggles that can see invisible. But I can't think of anything else that we can do other than wait and see what happens.
No, we can do plenty, but I'd like the option of sitting and seeing what happens. One of the biggest threats, this is a tip for everybody, one of the biggest threats that you can actually find is not knowing a situation. It's terrible.
Like going in half-cocked?
Not even, like, no-cocked. Like, if you just act before you even know what the heck is going on, you can do way more damage than good.
Yeah.
That is wise. That is true.
So knowing the situation is a high priority for me.
Yeah. Should we wait for Criana or should we just go on?
Well, I'd like to at least start things off a little bit without Criana. With Criana, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of like to set the session pretty soon. If it's going to take another 20 minutes, though, I'm going to start without her, right? But I think waiting another 5 won't kill us. It'll save me having to repeat myself, or when she comes in, she'll be like, hey, what did I miss? And then, all this, right? I'll have to repeat myself anyway, so...
Yeah.
Let's just wait for 5 and see where we got. Wait for 5 and I'll shoot her a text and go from there.
Yeah, Cobra, we haven't been streaming for very long. We've been streaming for 10 minutes or so?
Yep.
Around there? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of backpedaling on my last statement. That would be my general plan and outlook as Patrick. I don't think Lucas would have that mindset.
Oh yeah, not Lucas, but that's a different campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that's more of like a character specific mindset. I should probably note.
It might have been 20 minutes ago in Tropic Radar. I don't know. I didn't press the button.
Oh yeah, I can check exactly how much time is being that we've been up, streamed.
Sure.
Well, I suppose it's 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
uh,
1901 to be specific. Thanks, Dee Dee. Thanks a ton. So yeah, I know. It's a slow start. It's a slower, slightly later start, but that's okay. I mean, that's what happens sometimes, right? You just gotta you roll with it. Roll with it.
So yeah, to answer your question, Bern, I have no particular plans. It's very much, we'll have to make a plan if we get in trouble. But if we'll have to see how the people that may put this man in custody does.
Yeah.
We will have to see. That actually kind of hinges on a lot of different things, and I'd rather not make a plan without at least knowing that.
Don't be ridiculous, Dee Dee. No one can go to New Jersey. That is a lifeless hellhole. And I'm not talking about in rivs. Boom, boom. Just kidding. I joke. I'm gonna just shoot her a text, ask her her ETA on her return. So she says, "Oh, just give me a few, then we'll wait." And she's like, "I don't know." Then we'll just start.
All right.
Fook it. Actually, what's really funny? No, actually, I can't say anything. I can't say anything at all. But suffice to say, we can still roll with temporarily 2 people. Hi, Honey Jade.
Hello. And if we need more time to shoot shit, I have a few targets.
All right. Well, why don't you give us one target right now?
Well, how do you feel about the newer games? I have not actually heard either of you play too many, like, last, let's just say 4 months new game. But how do you feel about, like, the newer games, or even just the market nowadays?
I think it's just there's so much now. It's really ironic because Ross Scott from Accursed Farms mentioned that this is almost very similar before the big gaming crash in the 80s, where there was just so much stuff flooding the market, but instead of now it's just so much shit that's flooding the market. Now you have so much shit, but so much like mediocre stuff, so much really great stuff, so much amazing stuff, right? There's just so much that is being released now and I mean, like, seriously, a lot of these games, and the games are getting longer, right? Like, It's rare to find a game that you can finish in under 10 hours, right?
Yes.
So when the games are getting bigger and longer and there's more of them, there's no real sense of urgency to play something that came out right now, because it's not like I don't have any other options, right? So that's what I think.
Before I go into my point, Burn, do you have anything to say?
Well, I played a little bit of Fallout 4. I enjoyed it, but there was a point where I started, hanging out with... I hang out with the TI guys a lot.
Sure.
The Thrilling Intent guys, and we've been playing Final Fantasy. They got me back into Final Fantasy, so I stopped playing Fallout 4, and I haven't picked it back up. But I like playing MMOs a lot in my spare time, which usually are either free or like Final Fantasy, like you pay a monthly subscription. But I've spent hundreds of hours in MMOs, even thousands of hours in MMOs. So I mean, new games don't really interest me that much. The only reason why I thought Fallout 4 was good was because a lot of my Australian buddies, which hilariously enough, I was playing on my account, but family shared to one of my Australian buddies, so I could play it while he wasn't playing it. He basically told me to play the fucking game and to shut the hell up until I played the goddamn game.
Okay. Sure, like most people do.
Yeah. great friend. And I'm just ambivalent on newer games. I usually wait for like a year or two until I can get like Fallout 4 for $5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I have two things to say about the statements I heard so far. One, I'll just bring up right now. I have such a backlog of games that I want to play that anything comes out, I almost can't
Goes
care
at the
about
bottom.
them.
Yeah.
So there's just one point. The other one that I would really love to point on, and Inferno kind of hit on the head while he was discussing. I played a lot of free games and demos, and one of the main things that I found when playing those games were I actually had an enjoyable time. In the broad sense of it, and why is that? And I started looking through the game time that I spent on it. It was like an hour, 3 hours, whatever. And I went, oh yeah, now games are like incredibly bloated.
So bloated.
You had to spend so much time getting from one place to the next, and almost for no reward, gameplay, story, art, really anything. It's just there to waste your time. Filler. Lots of filler. And that's become a staple in games now. Where a lot of people have to say, I'm getting the bang for my buck, and the bang is time spent in game, and the buck is literal money. So if you're paying $60 for a game, many people rate it by how much time they spent in it. Now how enjoyable it was, now how good it was, how much you like the characters, or how you like the visuals, or really anything. Just how much time did I sit down and play the game? And I've never understood that. As long as I've actually been playing games, I've never understood that. I have been in the circumstance where I've bought a $60 game, finished a game in an afternoon, like via 100%, without looking anything up, like 4 hours of gameplay, and I was like, this is a waste of my time. Mainly because there wasn't anything to latch on to.
Yeah.
Not because of how much money I put down. It was the content of the game, not how long it was.
Sorry, my internet just had a heart attack there and it froze what you said. And I was like, what? So, Katie, Criana doesn't know exactly.
Inferno?
It's fine if we start writing when she. Can you hear me?
It kind of sped through what you said about Criana.
Yeah, that's really funny. I guess that's my internet just fucking catching up with me after it had its heart attack. Thanks. Anyway, I'll repeat myself. It's fine. She's not 100% sure how long it's to help her family member with this little technical issue. I asked her if it was okay if we start without her. She hasn't replied yet, but I'm going to assume it's going to be okay. So let's get started, okay?
Yeah.
And if I have to repeat myself a little bit and catch her up when she joins in, then so be it. All right, we good to start?
Yes, I believe so.
All right, let's do this shit. So when we last left off, you were back aboard Mars. I mean, you were still on the surface of Mars, nearby your ship, and killing in Blackwater had gone screaming towards the minor innocents. A few minutes later, you were told to hold fast where you were and wait for further instruction. Let me double check my notes. So, 20 minutes pass without hearing a single word from the minor innocents. Is it fair to say that you guys would go back aboard the Rhapsody and not just mill around the outside of Mars?
Well, she did say for us to not leave the Rhapsody, right? Or not leave...
No, not to leave in the Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah. Then, yeah, I would think we would go back on board, unless you think otherwise, Piph?
I wouldn't mind going back on board. I know Patrick would be he would want to keep his hands busy for the time being.
Okay. Well, after 20 minutes pass, you are hailed once again by Nocturne, and she gives you another very brief, short, brief, sharp message that states, Rhapsody, you will join the Minor Innocents as it takes off from the surface of Mars, and you will join us back in orbit by the Razor's Kiss. Do not stray from us any more than 5 miles, or face dire consequences. Do you understand?
Okay.
And with that, the comms go off. And Alicia, of course, unless, do you want to be piloting this, Tom?
I'll pilot it.
Okay. So you get behind the main console, the main controls of the Rhapsody, gear up the engines, and leave the survey team. Well, not the survey team. It's not like, hey, wait, come back, right? But the survey has clearly, for the canal lines, the ley lines on Mars, has already been set up by the looks of it. And you blast off from the surface once again, break through the Martian atmosphere. And are you going to stay close by information with the Minor Innocents?
I will do as instructed.
Okay, just have to make sure, right? The game's all about options. You could say, fuck you, let's see what happens. But you're a smart player and you're like, let's not piss them off. So you stay.
How about let's not try and get a total party kill.
Let's well, half of the players aren't even here right now.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the best way to tell them that their characters are dead.
Hey, Criana, I fucked up.
So
I wanted to be cheeky. I'm sorry.
that's what happens. Okay, but you stay in formation. Your ship staying close by the Minor Innocents as you once again find orbit and then rendezvous with the Razor's Kiss. You get into formation, the regular orbital pattern that you have been doing the past few weeks. No, about a week and a bit, I guess. It hasn't been exactly 2 weeks just yet. But regardless, an hour passes. No communications from the Razor's Kiss or the Minor Innocents comes your way. Anything you guys would like to do in the meantime or talk about? If not, it's no big deal. I can continue on.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
I'll just stay waiting in the pilot's chair.
Okay.
Can you think of anything, Piph?
It's one of those things where exactly how... Alright, so... A soft warning is the one thing that I can think of in my head that Patrick would do after an hour, besides his normal routine. Now, the problem with that is, they don't seem to like us at the moment because we are in suspicion at this point. So anything might come back as something that's aggressive. But, you know what? Nothing risked, nothing gained. So why not?
Okay.
If anything, we'll just get a scolding. Unless they are really upset, and I'll have to tell Criana that I killed her character.
So are you saying, so do you want to do something right now, or do you want to let the hour... Do you want to do something within the hour, or do you want to wait to see what happens after an hour passes, and then if nothing happens, then you're going to do what you want to do?
Yes, the second one.
The second one? Okay.
Yes.
Well, an hour passes, and sure enough, you get once more a communication from the minor innocents. Tom, since you're in the front, you're able to open up comms, and you don't get a video feed. You just hear Nocturne's voice that says, "The Razor's Kiss is coming your way, and you will be receiving a passenger, a fellow named Roberto Falcone. He is an intelligence officer that works aboard the Razor's Kiss, and I have tasked him to question you. You are to answer all of his questions truthfully. Do you understand?"
Understood.
Good. The Razor's Kiss will be docking with you soon. And unless there's any parting questions or thoughts, she'll close communications.
I can't think of anything to say.
Okay. Sure enough, Tom, you can see the Razor's Kiss shift in orbit, fire its thrusters, and begin to glide towards your ship. Docking procedures begin. Airlocks are met. And sure enough, coming aboard your ship is a man, of course. He is human. He's a little on the shorter side. He's 5'9". He has jet black hair, which is combed backwards or almost slicked back in a way. He looks surprisingly young, maybe late 20s at the absolute most, but he does have a youthful face. He has very, very cream-colored skin with a small dark pigment to it. He has a full mouth, like full lips. He has a short, round nose, and he has very, very piercing brown eyes. Comes aboard the ship. And at this point, this airlock is just before the wreck area. All right. He comes aboard, and many of the other NPCs right now, such as, Al right now, who's being NPC'd, and Alicia, and Blink, of course, and Bear, all kind of are around this area. Would it be fair to say that your characters would also be there to receive your visitor?
Yeah.
Okay. Patrick?
After being notified, he would probably stop taking notes in the I can't even remember what the room's called, but the planter room?
Hydroponics.
The hydroponics bay?
Hydroponics bay. And
Okay.
would probably wrap up there and wait for the man.
All right. So Falcone, Roberto Falcone, looks around, and he's dressed in dark black slacks, dark black, almost a vest with a kind of a white undershirt underneath. And the vest he's all very clean and proper, but the vest is kind of opened a little bit loose, and you can see underneath the vest is an arm holster, and in it is what appears to be a laser pistol. He doesn't have it in his hands, but you can, as a quick kind of visual inspection of this guy, you do spot that weaponry on him. And he goes, "Hello, my name's Roberto Falcone, but most people just call me Robbie. Before we get started, I was always curious to take a look around this ship. Want to give me a tour?"
Sure. I'll give you a tour.
"Great," he says. And take him through the cargo bay. And the cargo bay itself, of course, has your insect specimens on it.
Yeah.
And Falcone takes a moment to kind of looks at the crates a little bit longer than usual. And he goes to step towards them, but then he shakes his head and shrugs his shoulders and tells you to continue on with the tour. I'm sure you show him the engines, the whole thing. When he gets to the wreck area, he kind of looks around with a bit of a surprised look on his face. You show just a bedroom or something like that, he does make a comment that, whew, my place is half the size and I gotta share with 2 other people, and I'm pretty high up the food chain, as they say.
Hmm.
Show him the cockpit, everything like that. He
Mm-hmm.
says, nice ship, good arrangements. So, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been tasked by Nocturne to find out the truth, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But we're not gonna do no group interview. I'm gonna talk to you one-on-one. Out a little bit more clear that way. So let's see. Let's start with his eyes pierce a look around to each of the people, of the persons assembled there. His eyes fall on Tom, and he says, let's start with you, tour guide.
All right.
He kind of looks around a little bit, and he gestures to the doorway to the rec room. And he goes, over here. We'll talk in here. There's a table there. We'll sit down. We'll have a chat. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Good. Everyone else, just wait out here. Don't interfere, okay? And with a bit of a... He narrows his eyes a little bit. And with that, he raises his hand and gestures for you to join him in the rec room.
Mm-hmm. I'll join him.
Great. So, gets in. He sits down. He goes, "Go ahead, take a seat."
Mm-hmm. I'll take a seat.
Good. So, Tom, is it okay if I just call you Tom? It's not short for anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, what's up, Piph?
If you could type something down in our roll 20, I'm gonna take off my headset so I can't hear this.
Okay. We'll let you know
Okay.
when we're done.
You're voluntarily doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. You don't have to, but if you want to do this as a part of your fun, yeah. When the interview's over, I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. I did not expect that. Okay. And he's sorry. What was your response when he asked if he could call you Tom if it was short for anything?
He will flounder a little bit and say, "No, Tom is fine."
Okay, Tom. Well, let's start with the big question. What happened down there?
Well, from what I saw in the Glitter Boy power armor, we encountered what looked like the corpse of a being that had a necklace, and Mr. Blackwater grabbed the necklace, and after talking for a while, he seemed to not want to give it up. And by give it up, we mean place it back on the ground so that we can have somebody else view it and see if it had anything wrong or, was magical or something.
Magical?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Well, afterwards, we got into an argument. He still refused to basically go anywhere. No, wait. Out of character. That's wrong. That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. He wanted to return to
The Minor Innocents.
the Minor Innocents.
Yeah.
And in the exchange, which the scouts saw, we were talking back and forth, and he crushed said necklace. Afterwards, he started acting really strange.
Strange how?
It looked like he was having a seizure.
Okay. All right. Go on.
Well, out of character, I can't really recall the rest of that.
You can't?
So, out of character, I really can't.
Yeah. Want me to help you
I'm
out?
here.
Hey, Criana.
Sure.
I'm here.
Hi. Thanks for your patience. Now, Piph has actually taken off his his headset for now, because actually, this is perfect. I'm gonna tell Piph to put his headset back on.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Set back on. You're gonna be confused, but don't worry. I'm gonna
Cool.
explain
As long
that.
as I'm where I'm supposed to be, that's all that really matters, I suppose.
That's exactly it. So just gonna give you a heads up. Just what you missed. You actually didn't miss all that much at all. All right.
Mhm.
Nocturne told you guys to go back into orbit, which you did. So you're back in orbit with the other two ships, the Minor Innocence and the Razor's Kiss. And she has sent someone aboard, an intelligence officer, a guy named Roberto Falcone. And he is pretty much said he has come here to figure out the truth, right? And after a small tour of the ship, he has decided he doesn't want to have himself a little group interview. He wants to talk with you guys one-on-one to figure out what happened. Okay, so he picked Tom first, and now Piph, out of character, he's like, you know what? I encourage you guys to listen to each other's interviews, right? I trust you guys not to metagame,
Mhm.
but Piph, in particular, he's just like, I don't want to listen. So that's why his headset was off, right? So we're right in the middle of doing the Tom's interview, but actually, Byrne is having a really hard time, like
I can't
Byrne the
fucking
character.
remember.
He can't really remember exactly what happened. So before I continue with his interview there, do you guys want to just I could tell you what happened, but I feel like I'm being biased since I'm also playing the character who's going to be questioning you.
Mhm.
So maybe Piph or Criana, do you want to shed some light and help Byrne out?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
So he got to the point. He got to the point where Killian crushed the gem, and it looked like he had a seizure, right?
Mhm.
And it's after that that it got a little murky for you, right, Byrne?
Yeah.
Did you say that after like 5 minutes of seizing, he started laughing and speaking in a different language?
You
No.
didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say
And then
that.
yelled
that's
out,
what happens
finally.
next. Yeah, he seized for probably about 2 hours, and then after, okay, maybe not 2 hours.
So he seized for like a year.
Yeah, and then after that, he started like everyone was watching, and then he was like, and we were like, oh shit. And then like, I think after that he just sort of Piph. What happened? He just dropped, and then he was normal. Like
He actually yelled something about finally. Like finally being free, or just the word finally.
I would have no idea of that.
And
Actually,
then
he said it's about time. But
that's that thing.
just yeah, the intent was the same. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
That's okay. And then after that, he seems to kind of just. I don't think he collapsed. I think he just like regained his consciousness, and then just kind of like, what are you guys staring at? Oh, you broke it.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that?
Help
Byrne out.
we continued to discuss how he's most likely not okay, that all of his actions that he completely blanked on were true, and actually talked to the others around us, and they all agreed on what transpired. And then
and then we got him onto the ship,
Yes.
and we did a brain scan.
Yes. Now you're remembering.
Yes, now I'm remembering.
Okay, so do we want to slip back in character then, Byrne?
Sure.
You
Do you want
good?
me to drop my headset?
No, not at all. This is something, like I said, I was not expecting. Piff's just doing it voluntarily. So
I'm going to do it again.
You're gonna do it again. That's fine. That's
If
fine.
Piph does it, I kind of want to do it.
Okay, all right, then you do it too. All right,
Okay.
It'll be interesting. All right, go.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know in the Roll20 chat when it's over.
Sweet.
Oh, I should probably get in roll 20. Okay, I'll do that while you guys finish your interview.
Okay.
All right
God,
then.
Criana. Jesus.
All right.
I'm the best.
You're
We've
okay.
been going through like An hour.
Oh, hey,
Damn it now. I'm just
back in
kidding.
the
I'm just
interview
kidding.
spot.
I'm
Okay, go away,
sorry.
Piph.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna grill this guy now. All right. So we'll slip back in character. So
Yeah.
you got to the point where he said he crushed it and looked like he seized.
Yes, and shortly thereafter,
Okay.
he started speaking weird things.
What kind of
He,
things?
I, I didn't understand it. It seemed like it
Okay.
was a different language.
All right. Keep going.
Something that I'm not familiar with, and he also said something about its time. And afterwards, he seemed to have been missing time. He blacked out essentially, and well, after talking it over with him and with the scouts, we convinced him to come aboard the Rhapsody to have a brain scan done because we
Who
were
did the brain
concerned.
scan?
The pointy-eared guy, Al. I was there helping, and according to the brain scan, according to Al, it said that he didn't seize, so it's something very different. I think we still have the readout in the medical bay if you want that.
Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get that when the time comes. Is that
Um,
all?
Then afterward, he said that we were liars, that he demanded to come back down to the surface. So we brought him back down to the surface, and we were talking, and all of a sudden he ran off, screaming about children with knives.
All of a sudden, with no provocation, nothing like that, he just started acting weird again. Is that what
Yeah.
you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. So, tell me what you think there, Tom. It looked like he seized. He started saying weird things. You do a brain scan and show that he didn't have a seizure. And all of a sudden, he started acting weird again. What do you think caused Killian to act so strangely?
Honestly, I'm
Have any
not
idea?
sure. I have no idea, but
Okay.
how often has he been on the surface while we were here?
I'm the one who asks the questions. Besides, if you know anything, I mean, you were on the
I-
surface more often than anyone else, so you would know whether when Killian showed up or not, right?
No,
Bern, do me a favor. Roll me a D100, eh?
I can I just say one quick thing really quick?
Sure. Yeah.
I just thought because both times happened on the surface and not in air, maybe I okay. And now I'm gonna roll 89.
All right. Falcone says, yeah, okay, fine. So, not too sure exactly what happened. He pauses for a minute and goes, "This is a nice ship.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a few questions about yourself. What do you do?
Okay.
Before we did this expedition, what did you do?"
I was a pilot for a little bit. I'm the pilot now.
Uh-huh.
And I I I just bounced from ship to ship. Um, it's hard to find work sometimes when people know that you're a mutant.
Gotcha. You're a mutant, hey? You don't look like a mutant, but I guess not everything is how they look. What can you do, Tom?
Um, don't be surprised. And he's going to lay out his hand
Mm-hmm.
on the table and
Mm-hmm.
ignite a small fire that hovers above his hand.
Falcone takes just a little uh steps back, leans back just a little bit, but he doesn't look too shocked and goes, okay. Yeah. Pyrokinetic manipulation. Familiar with that. Not very common, but not completely unheard of either. Is that it? Can you do anything else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I I know how to trick my brain into thinking that I'm in dire straits, so I can stay awake for a few hours when
Oh
I'm
yeah,
really tired.
yeah. Can you trick
But
other
that's
brains too, Tom?
no,
No. Okay.
no.
So you're a freebooter, taking jobs here and there.
Mhm.
So tell me then, why is just some random freebooter who had a hard time trying to get a job? How did he end up here on this expedition? How did he end up here piloting the best fucking ship in orbit? How'd that happen? How'd you get in touch with the network?
Fuck. This is out of character. Fuck. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he knows the secret already or not.
I know.
Shit. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm really good at what I do, and I luckily ran into these guys.
Oh yeah? Where'd you run into them?
Uh, Outcast Station.
Oh, Outcast Station. You don't look like a Dreg though. You got all the right ears and the amount of eyes, and you're not missing any important limbs that I can see.
Mhm.
So it's just happenstance. Met these people that you're with and formed up and joined on this little expedition, huh?
Yeah, we've been friends ever since. I mean,
That's sweet.
well, me and
Mm-hmm.
me and my girl met these guys.
And
I kind of
which one's your girl?
um the oh, I can't remember if there was a term for them.
No, she's just a feline mutant.
Yeah, the feline mutant.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. So, I got one last question before I let you go for now, Tom.
Mhm.
What is your purpose here? What mission are you on for Mars? What were you hired to do?
I was hired to pilot the ship and to help these guys in that glitter boy.
Yeah, yeah. And that's it. That's the only orders that you got from the Killian, from the Baron, from the guy that hired you. He just told you pilot this ship, back him up in this incredibly rare suit of power armor that only Freedom Station allows. That is military hardware. You realize how many strings have to be pulled to get something like that? You're just telling me they gave it to you?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
He purses his lips and he waves his hand. He goes, "Okay, we're done. You can
Okay.
stand up. You can go out now." And he
Alright.
stands up too. And I'm going to tell the others to get back in.
I will say before I leave, that if he needs me, I'll be in the cockpit.
Uh-huh. Well, you're not going anywhere until I'm off this ship, and even then, I doubt you're going anywhere. So I just hope the seat's really comfortable up there. He kind of gives a bit of a chuckle.
Okay.
I'll wait for
Wow.
Criana. Hi, Criana.
Hi.
Actually, while I'm waiting for Piph to get back, because he's still muted, I'll give you a physical description of this fellow.
Okay.
He's relatively short, at least for a man. He's 5'9". He is, I guess, modern man, I should say. He's 5'9". He has jet black hair. It's slicked back. He has very cream-colored skin with a bit of a darker pigmentation to it. He has full lips, kind of a short, round nose, and really bright, piercing brown eyes or hazel eyes. He's well dressed. He has a black vest, white undershirt. The vest is open. You can see a laser pistol in an arm holster underneath his right arm. And he's wearing black trousers and boots. Very professional looking.
Okay.
So Tom and Falcone step out and goes, "Thanks, Tom." Takes a look around the rest of the group there. His eyes fall on Nora's dominant personality?
Yeah, right. Currently, yes.
Yeah, right now. Fall on Nora. He says, "Okay, let's do you next. Come on."
Boy.
Sorry, Piph. I hope you're okay with that.
Yes. Bye, Criana.
Bye, Piph.
I'll let you know. And he gestures you to join him over in the rec room.
All right.
Closes the door behind. He gestures to the table and the chairs seated nearby, and he takes a seat. And he actually takes a seat to the chair, not across from you, but next to you. But he gives you enough personal space. He's not right up in your business, right?
Good.
But he's next to you.
All right.
He goes, first name is Mila, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions if that's fine. I was already talking to your friend Tom there, and he gave me a good approximation as to what happened, but I'm curious on your thoughts. Things got really confused down there on the surface. A lot of strange questions, a lot of strange happenings. So let's hear your side of the story. What happened?
Well, Killian, despite us telling him to let go of the jewel, opted to hold on to it.
This is the jewel that was on that alien corpse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
He took it. He held on to it. I don't know. Suddenly, he started jolting around like he was having a seizure.
Uh-huh.
And then he started laughing and speaking in some language I didn't recognize, and then sort of went back into normal mode, I guess you could say.
All right, let me interrupt you there. Let's just stop there for a moment. He says,
Uh-huh.
and he kind of gives a bit of a small smile. Why did you want him to let go of the jewel?
He had asked for our expertise because we were, I wouldn't say familiar, but we've done our research on this particular area.
Area of Mars?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Oh,
And,
okay, we'll go with that, he says.
All right. And then he asked, so we gave him our expert opinion. And our expert opinion was that something, most likely the jewel, contained some sort of energy, or I don't know whatever you want to call it, magic. Who knows? That was not so good, and the fact that he refused to put it down made us believe it even more.
For right now, Criana, I would like you to roll me a D100, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Let me just get this. This interview would be so much more amusing with Mila.
It would, but alas, Nora's here.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll have to just deal with her.
We need some TLC with Nora. It's been a while.
We do.
Since
It has been a while since she showed up. Yeah, I agree. And he goes, all right, we'll keep going. All right, so he started looking like he had a seizure, right?
Yeah.
Saying some real weird words.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Then he sort of went back to normal. We told him that, well, I saw something inside him, and we all kind of guessed that there was, I don't know, something, whatever was in that jewel was attached to him. So we asked him to come back to our ship so we could examine him more thoroughly. And then that was a trial in itself. And when he agreed to, we did so and took him back. I don't know, I guess Al checked him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'll find out.
yeah, he's completely normal. Didn't even look like he had a seizure. No brain problems. So I looked inside his head.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean you looked inside his head? I thought Al did the examination.
Yeah, no, I looked at him. I read his thoughts.
Falcone looks surprised at this, and he leans back and he goes, "You're a mutant too."
Mm-hmm.
So you went inside Killian's head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what did you do inside Killian's head?
I didn't do much. I was just seeing if there was something there, and if there was, trying to goad it out. And so yeah, I read. And seemed like for the most part, Killian was just nervous and just wanted to go back. He thought we were overreacting, and then little guy inside him started speaking up, telling me to get out. So
Little guy? What little guy?
well, he's not really a little guy. I don't know. He's some sort of. You'll have to ask Patrick. I don't really deal with that. I deal with the goading. So I goaded him out. He didn't want to stay in the ship because everyone can hear what we're saying.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there, Mila. What do you mean everyone can hear what you're saying? You mean he didn't want to speak in front of a crowd?
No, he didn't want to speak and have it recorded.
Falcone gives an authentic furrow of his brows, and he says, "You put up recording instrumentation inside the ship?"
I didn't.
Who did?
The guy we're taking the ship from or borrowing the ship from.
Killian?
Yeah, I guess.
Or
I don't know.
Or the Baron?
I don't know. The Baron, I guess. I don't really deal with the politics. You'll have to talk to the others, honestly.
Are the recordings kept here on this ship?
Probably not. That would be stupid. Especially with the shitty group of people we are.
You admit that you're shady.
Oh, yeah, well, listen, pal, not gonna lie, everyone's pretty shady.
Oh, okay. Am I shady?
Yeah.
But you just met me. You don't even know me.
I know.
Okay, so he said he didn't want to be recorded. So then what happened?
So we went back out onto Mars, and he offered to take this body, I guess. In exchange, we would get the ship, and then he would go back to his ship, have Killian's body, and I don't know, cause havoc or whatever. We didn't like that idea, so we told him no. Well, I told him no. I told him that I was gonna, get rid of him. He didn't like that, so he went back. Then he started screaming. I have no idea what was up with that. I don't know if Killian had a mental breakdown or what, but
maybe the little guy in his head started screaming too.
Maybe, I don't know. He seemed like a bit of a coward, if you ask me.
Did you make him scream, Mila?
Nah, like I said, honestly, have no idea.
No clue.
Nope, just started
one of those
screaming.
Mysteries. I see.
But I don't know. Could have been one of the other guys. Like I said, we're pretty shady.
He gives a bit of a laugh. Well, okay. Since you're being so honest and forthcoming, let me ask you this.
Yo.
Yo.
That's more of a Criana line. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. He says, "Why are you here on Mars?"
We got a mission.
What's your mission?
She actually kind of smirks. I'm not authorized to tell.
You're not authorized. By
Right.
who?
I don't know. Let's go by me. I'm not authorized to tell you. You said it yourself. I've been pretty forthcoming.
You have.
I have to have my own little secrets.
Oh, you do. You do.
Mhm.
Well, here's the bad thing about secrets is I'm here
Yeah.
to find those out. And I'm
Oh,
gonna find those out.
all right.
Every single secret you might have. And you're not nearly as cool or as smart as you think you are.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So is there anything else you want to tell me before we finish this up?
Not a thing. She gives you a toothy grin.
He does not return it. And in fact, it actually turns into more of a sneer. And he gestures with a thumb. Okay, I'm done with you for now.
All right. She walks out.
Okay. All right. Headset back on, guys. This is all more formal than I anticipated, but
Yeah,
I like
this is
it.
cool,
I like
though.
it. I'm liking
Mhm.
this. Yeah, it changes things up. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. I'm gonna wait for Piph to get in.
Hello.
Hello.
Because spoiler alert, guess who's next? I'm back and I'll go into detail back in. So, all right. Well,
Back in
why don't you go
time.
into detail? What are you doing during the Nora chat?
Darn.
Did you forget?
No, I remembered. Just I read the finest of prints. How just so I know, how long was the time between um Tom going in and him coming out?
5 minutes.
All right. Then yeah. I think Patrick is all he's going to do is make sure that his necklace is set to sense being.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Okay. Since supernatural, gotcha. Will do.
Mhm.
All right. So he's actually going to Falcone. Robbie Falcone is going to actually interview Blink and Alicia before he gets to you, Patrick.
Okay.
Both are relatively short. Alicia has. She doesn't look. Alicia's interview is absolutely the shortest. It's only 2 minutes long. And she doesn't. When she leaves the room after Robbie's done talking with her, she doesn't seem too visually shaken up. If anything, she looks more confused than anything else. Blink, on the other hand, is much longer. It's about an 8-minute conversation. When she comes out, she looks angry, but she doesn't say anything at that point. Then it's Patrick's turn. Falcone. Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
She isn't gonna go over to the cockpit and punch me in the head, is she?
No. Not yet.
Okay,
Not
good.
until I say she does.
Oh.
Shit. Well,
Oh.
Unless you want to give me some ideas.
I think Piph and I missed something.
well,
Oh, winky
I'm gonna
face.
disappear. Bye bye.
All right. But Falcone points to you, Patrick. He goes, okay, you're next.
Goodbye.
Bye. And he brings you into the room and he gestures for you to sit down, and he sits in a chair across from you, lays his hands on the table, and he says, Patrick, what's your last name, Patrick?
Kinsman.
Okay. Roll me a D100, by the way. Okay. He says, do you go by Patrick, Pat, Patty? Anything you prefer?
Patrick is usually the one that I'm called. I don't mind nicknames.
Okay, well, I'll just call you Patrick then. We'll keep this nice and formal. So, before I ask you as to what you recall what happened onto the surface, I got a question for you. It's important. I want to know, why are you here on Mars?
Well, do you want a personal story or business?
I want business. Actually, I want both. Let's start with business. Go with personal later.
Patrick gives a brief pause and a skeptical look, then continues. The business here is to complete the jobs that were set before us, the entire team. And if you're part of such teams, you would know exactly the details of that.
Except I don't know all the details. I know of the 3 objectives that were supposed to be met. Hell, I scouted out for those canal lines myself. But, you see, your friend Mila there said you had secret orders. So, what are those secret orders, Patrick? I want to find out if she told you the same thing that you're going to tell me. Does that have something to do with those creatures that are in your cargo bay?
Patrick will look somewhat confused. I don't think the creatures are secret.
No, not you collecting them. Everyone saw you do that. But why you're collecting them? That might be the secret, don't you think?
Ah. Do you know why the reason we are doing any of these things?
That's why I'm asking you, Patrick. I have my orders, and I know certain things, but I think you know more. So why don't you tell me?
Alright. After this, I have a few questions for you, because I would like to be on the same page.
We'll see what mood I'm in. You just keep answering mine.
All of the things that we're doing on this mission is for one man, and you probably know who he is.
Baron Dioxin.
Yes.
Did he put cameras on this ship?
I'm not quite sure, but there's definitely cameras on here.
Uh-huh. Do they feed into the local hard drives here?
Actually, Patrick might know this.
Yeah, they don't. You knew when you and August hacked the feed,
Right.
It was being uploaded remotely to the Razor's Kiss.
Right. I'd rather not specify that I hacked and know this knowledge, so I would go, we were told not to tamper with it.
I see. Told by who?
What is his name?
Killian.
Killian.
Okay. Did you have any problems with Killian?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, besides, just a few minutes ago. Or,
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What happened on Mars?
so...
So,
We were to inspect and gather information about ley lines. Or, excuse me, I wouldn't say that as in character, I would say specifically the canals.
Okay.
Sorry. Out of character, too
Okay.
used to such things.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
To observe canal lines.
Okay.
And when we went down there, fairly soon after we landed, Killian found an artifact.
An artifact.
Yeah. A necklace.
Go on. The necklace. The necklace. Okay. What makes you think it was an artifact? Why wasn't it just a regular necklace?
Well, say it quite blankly because it contained a spirit, and usually normal necklaces don't do such things.
Okay. All right. He says he's giving a very skeptical look. He says, "Okay. So this necklace had a spirit in it. How do you know it had a spirit in it?"
Well, I wasn't completely sure until he started acting strangely.
Okay.
I could tell you about my tests, but by your expression, you're not going to believe me.
Don't you worry about what I believe. I'm here to suss out the truth. You tell me the truth, and I find out that is the truth, then I'll believe you. You just keep talking.
Alright. So, should I continue with what happened on Mars?
Yes, he says.
So he seemingly was drawn to the necklace, probably by 2 points of his mind. One for his goal of obtaining trinkets such as that to Baron. Most likely for his collection, if I had to guess. And another, something a bit more, not even sure how to put it. It's almost like a calling.
Calling.
Yes. Like you're drawn to something.
You were drawn to this?
Me? No. It just seemed like it to
Killian.
him. Yeah.
All right, keep going.
After he picked it up, he said something along the lines of, inquisitive, and also going, this should be something that should be taken back, and it also seems very nice. And then after some suspicions and from previous warnings before we've dropped down of being incredibly cautious, we said maybe we should check it out a lot more than just kind of picking it up. He was very insistent that he shouldn't do such a thing, to put it back down. We then tried to reason with him by saying, alright, because he seemed irrational, he seems a lot more like a safer man than he was previously. Than he was then, excuse me. He scooped it up, held in his hand, seemingly the more and more we told him to try to let it go, the more he clenched onto it. Fear struck into his eyes as we tried to ration to him to just put it down for a few minutes. I think it was 30. And then, after he almost burst out and yelling that he wouldn't let go of it, he cracked it in his hand, started jabbering. He started seizing, then jabbering. Then, language I didn't even know. Then started, I think, cackling, and then said something along the lines of, it's time or finally, or something like that. About time, I think that's what the thing that he said.
About time? About time for what?
I can guess, but it would just be a guess.
Falcone shakes his head. That's fine. Continue on. What happened after this episode of his?
He seemed to snap out of whatever may be happening. Which I'm insistent to him and most other people that I've talked to that might have been, or most likely have been, a how might you call it? An abduction of a body, a haunting.
Falcone, like a haunting? Okay. You're saying Killian was haunted.
Like there was another entity or being also in his body.
Okay. And then let me guess. Well, I don't need to guess. I have to just go by what your fellows, your crewmates told me. They took Killian back onto the Rhapsody. Al, the mutant with the ears, did the ransom test. And what did the test show?
The test shown
That he had a seizure, right?
no. If I remember correctly from what he was very inquisitive about, was he had no such injuries.
Oh, okay. Then what happened?
After that, we were oh, that's right, I did my test that I told you wouldn't probably like me. Okay, so
What test did you do?
a possession test, I suppose.
Oh, and what does a possession test look like?
I think the circle might still be there if you want to look
Yeah.
at it.
Probably, yeah. Actually, it might. I'm gonna say it is. It's only been like 2 hours. He goes, okay, we'll see that later.
Alright. Tested positive, but that was something that I believe we already knew.
How did you already know it?
Lots of signs.
Oh, like?
Like what happened right afterwards.
Which was?
We went outside.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's kind of like we were confronted by it.
How?
He
He
started
tried to attack you?
talking oddly.
Oddly, how? Like not in Killian's voice? Like saying weird words again?
He started speaking like he was just understanding how to build a sentence. The cadence was a bit off. Um, Shortly after that, um, he started running off and yelling about how they're going to get him.
I believe his words were, help me, they're trying to kill me.
Yes.
Were you trying to kill Killian?
Lord, no.
Do you know why he did that all of a sudden?
I assume it's some part of the possession.
I see. Patrick, where did you meet these crew members of yours?
Where did I meet them?
Yeah. You weren't all born together, I reckon. Some of you don't really share a family resemblance. What with all the fur.
Patrick's gonna stop for a second. If you'd like to get to know each other a bit more, I'd be glad. But I think we have
that's
a bit...
not what I'm asking. I'm asking where you all met. How did you get together? Were you hired together? Did you meet someplace? Did you work together?
Alright. I would like to start questioning right now about what's going on. There's
No,
a man...
I asked the questions. You
Sir.
understand? By the way, your necklace isn't. You do not sir me. Answer my question. You know what I think,
Yes.
Patrick? Oh,
I
you do know what I think. Well, tell me what I think.
I think you're trying to find anything at all about any of us trying to have different stories or really anything. While that's happening, there's a man on your ship on the brink of not existing. Not physically, but his body's slowly being taken over. And
Oh, really?
I'd rather not waste time talking about my life. I'm worried about his.
Bullshit, he says. You got any proof that there's this thing inside Killian? Because if you got proof, show it to me and I will storm that thing right next to you, Patrick. But you know what I think? I think you're being played. I think you got more smarts than you got wits. How well do you know Mila?
I will know
Your
enough.
voices in your head, Patrick?
Besides my own, no.
I see. Got any other questions for me?
Yes. If you're trying to find the truth about what happened, why are you asking me about my life?
Because I don't think that I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I think all my questions have a reason. I think I have sensed it ever since I've been here on this ship. There are secrets that you do not want me to find out, but I will find them out. And I think those secrets are the same things as what's getting Killian in this situation. There are a bunch of things that don't add up.
Then please, for both of our sakes and his, ask me straight questions.
What do you think I have been asking you? Okay, I'll
You-
make this even clearer then. Even more specific. What do you think is more likely? That something came and possessed Killian? Or that one of your crew members is messing with his head?
Patrick actually looks really upset at this point.
I know, Patrick. The truth is hard to figure out. But if you know anything, you need to tell me. We need to get the ship back on course,
Alright.
metaphorically speaking.
So far, I would believe that our tales have lined up. Now, to actually to make you believe, it will take some time. So, from the questions that I've answered, and hopefully everything has lined up, I would hate for any sort of misremembering mess up any of our facts for you, as well as you may want to ask the other, how many were there? 5 scouts with us when this all happened?
Oh, don't you worry. I already got their scout reports, and I'll be doing interviews with them as well. But this is much more interesting.
I'd rather not your curiosity be the folly of this man's life.
You keep speaking like Killian's gonna go up and die someday. Is he under threat?
He's on a timer, as any possessed person would be. It doesn't happen
How do you know
immediately.
so much about this?
I am the expert on these canals. You know of how these canals... You've known of canals, correct?
Yeah, he says, abruptly.
Do you know the beings that like to be around canals?
I know some dangerous shit can come out of them, yes. But I just don't know if this is the case, or if it's just a convenient scapegoat for you. You got proof. I want to see it.
If I can show you the circle, that's the test that we used. I doubt that it will convince you of anything, but hopefully...
Show it to me anyway.
Alright.
Okay. We're gonna leave the room there, so I'm gonna have them put their headsets back on.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll wait for them to get on.
I'm back.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
So the recreational room door opens quickly, and Falcone and Patrick come out. First thing Falcone says he's still looking at Patrick. He goes, "Okay, show me this ring."
And he'll guide you over to the med bay where the ring was set up, on the next bed
Circle.
over.
Okay. And Falcone, you guys can follow if you want. You guys
Yeah,
are
sure,
part of
why
this
not?
as well. Okay. And Falcone will gesture to this, and he goes, "Okay. And what's this supposed to mean out of all of it?"
This, with a proper ritual, will notify and maybe even have it come out if done properly. Unluckily, I am not as skilled in doing such things.
Okay. I've heard this from all of you. keep using this word magic. What the fuck are you talking about? Because the only magic I know is the stuff in fairy stories. So,
It's a
you keep saying you're
description.
a description of what?
Yeah.
Otherworldly phenomenon?
Yeah.
So it's
what
just another
else?
way of saying, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. But you're all experts on this. That's why you were brought aboard, right? You all said you were consultants because you knew about this stuff, right? So why should I think you're experts? Huh? Why should I not think that you guys are just making this up as you're going along?
All right.
Okay, Bern.
Nora's gonna raise an eyebrow and look to Patrick and sort of just shake her head. What other choice do you have?
The problem is, do you just not believe in magic?
It depends on, since the word magic is being so loosely determined, I don't know how to respond to that.
All right. Why
Are
don't
you asking if I don't know those blue lines that happen on Earth and sometimes in space and on Mars can't open up and some shit can come out of it? Sure, of course I know that. We all know that. That's why we blast first and ask questions second. But if you're asking me if, fairies sprinkle dust to make you fly, or if you can get on a magical broomstick or any of the other bullshit, then no. Everything has a scientific reason behind it, even if it hasn't been discovered yet. Your pilot there with his little fire powers, right? That is a mutation, a psychic mutation. You have a psychic mutation, he says, and he points over to Mila.
she
That's
waves
all
her
it
hand?
is.
All right, fine. Then how about we call it a mutation from now on? We won't use the word excuse me. We won't use the word
Patrick.
Mutation.
Patrick is now a mutant. No, she'll look to Patrick and say, well, I guess he doesn't like the word magic. Why don't we call it a mutation from now on? Would that make things better?
Well, kind of.
He narrows his eyes and he says, I don't have time to play word games.
Well, you're making
This-
us play word games, so why don't we get past your little magic problem and continue?
He purses his lips and says, I take it there's something you want to tell me, something you want to show me.
Patrick?
Okay, here's two problems. One, as you said, he's gonna think it's a mutation.
Correct.
Second, if I do show him this, he's just going to think all the crazy stuff that's happening to the man over there is from us. So either way, I don't think he's in a very believable mood.
Are you
Try
saying
me.
this? Oh, you're saying in character? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, this is in character. He
Falcone says,
came out of the room with a pretty miffed expression.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we had an interesting conversation.
Oh, man.
You'll all hear it later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Falcone says, try me.
Well,
All right.
that's convincing. Why not, Patrick?
Okay. Just so I can try to prove to you about magic, what can't a mutation do?
Are you asking me to come up with something that, if it happened, I wouldn't believe it'd be a mutation? He pauses for a moment. He says, conjuring something out in thin air. I remember seeing an old vid story about some guy named Merlin conjuring frogs and stuff out of nowhere. Yeah, that.
All right, Patrick, get your magical hat out.
Okay.
Nora's not having any of this right now.
He's not having any of you either.
They're just
Falcone
glaring,
is-
just
Oh.
glaring at
He's
each
not
other.
even looking at you.
She's
He's more worried.
She's got like this weird, like she's glaring at him, but she has a smirk that doesn't fit the glare, you know?
Okay. If you want classic magic, I think I remember how that works. And he's going to roll up his sleeves, show that's nothing there. And we'll start doing a magic incantation. And lo and behold, he has exactly one spell that is in his criteria. Magic, yeah. Magic Pigeon.
That's right. That's right. The one that Lee taught you in order to communicate with him again. When you got back to Earth, if you ever wanted to contact him again. Okay, wait. I gotta read the description because I want to know if it's. I want to know what the pigeon looks like so I can describe it. So give me a moment. Might as well be accurate with this. This is really entertaining. See, this is why I don't prepare too much because I don't know if you're gonna pull out this.
This is the first time I use Magic Pigeon, too.
This is great. I love it.
Pigeon. Oh, pigeons. There it is. Magic Pigeon.
Yeah, I'll make the pigeon noise.
Right. Oh, okay. Holy shit. Just as a description, the magic pigeon looks exactly like a real pigeon, but needs no food or rest, and can fly 720 miles every 24 hours at the speed of 30 miles per hour.
This is the most badass pigeon ever. Can we join the team? Please?
Normal weapons cannot harm or capture the pigeon,
Holy
but
shit.
magic spells and entrapments can capture it, and only a dispel magic spell can destroy it.
So
Oh,
what you can do?
You can try shooting it if you'd
nuke on this
like.
fucking thing. You can land a nuke on this thing and it would
standing
not
in
be
flames and like the.
Dude. What you can do is you can conjure it and then just set it down on somewhere and then just have him go.
Shoot it.
Okay, shoot it.
Shoot
Or
it.
no,
It's
have
not
the.
gonna-
Yeah. Have Nora try and
Okay, anyways.
Continue.
So, all of a sudden, Patrick, after saying those words, a pigeon, a white pigeon with a little gray, like, coloration by its beak, pops into your hand and it preens its feathers. And, the look on Falcone's face went from skepticism and anger and annoyance, especially at Nora, and this is the first time he has looked genuinely surprised. And he doesn't say anything for a moment, and he just looks at the pigeon.
You can touch it, it's real.
I didn't touch that thing. He said.
Okay. If you want to shoot it, it's
What's gonna happen if I shoot it?
nothing probably.
You're
Because
saying if I
it's
take out
magic.
this laser he snarls almost a little bit, and he says, "You're saying if I take out my laser pistol, that could cut through you with one shot, and I shoot it at that pigeon, that bird,
Mm-hmm.
that thing that I have only seen in pictures
Yep.
and in stories, nothing will happen to it?"
I believe so. If I did this correctly.
He reaches for the holster in his vest and he says, "You better put that thing down.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'll
the
stand
best shot
back.
in the world."
He'll place it
And-
on the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna have him just roll to hit. He could fuck up. It'd be really funny.
Turns out shoots
Shoots
Nora.
a hole in your floor. You don't want to get shot with this. It is a laser pistol. No, he hits it easily, actually. And he steadies his aim a little bit, and he shoots it. And a green beam, like a flash, shoots from the muzzle of his gun into the pigeon, hits it right in the square of its breast. And it kind of gives just a started little jump. And kind of. But other than that, nothing. No feathers and blood everywhere, no singe mark, It just looks up at Patrick, blinking dumbly. And Falcone kind of staggers back a little bit. And he looks to Patrick and he looks to Nora. And he says, I think I want to talk to all of you together now.
Okay. He's gonna pick up the pigeon. Patrick is gonna get a smirk on his face and whisper into the pigeon's ear. Specifically, Tom, get to the rec room, and he's going to then send the pigeon to Tom.
Oh
The
god.
pigeon takes wing and, like a crack of lightning, shoots past the med bay, through the rec room, through the hallway leading through to your bedrooms, into the cockpit, and Tom, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this white streak of movement goes past your vision before you see right on the front of the console a little white pigeon with a little gray coloration by its beak. It blinks at you a few times, and it opens up its mouth, and you hear Patrick's voice, clear as can be. Patrick, do you mind role-playing the pigeon for a moment?
Tom, please come to the rec room.
And then, all of a sudden, it poops out of sight.
Well, obviously, when this thing came in, he was startled. Now he is very confused.
Tom. Patrick turned into a pigeon.
And then disappeared.
He is going to go over the intercom. Oh, did something happen to Patrick?
I don't think he's gonna come to the rec room.
No, seriously,
get him.
there was a pigeon. Something going on, guys. Guys? Hello?
I'll have to explain this to him now. Give me a moment. And Patrick will go over. Go, hey Tom.
You see real Patrick this time. He's not a pigeon.
Oh. What the fuck was that?
That is one of the communication spells that I learned.
Huh.
Yeah, I needed to convince him, and it seemed that was the one to use.
Wait, you showed the dude this?
Yeah. He wants to speak with all of us in the rec room.
Did you get my message?
Did you get my message?
I got your message, but what else did you tell him? You didn't tell him where we're from, right?
When he asked anything personal, I got upset. I'm probably going to get upset again if we do not get to the rec room.
Okay. I'm going.
Things like this make me love Patrick. I know I'm not supposed to have favorites of my children, but right now he's. I'm gonna get upset again if we do not get to the rec room.
And Tom will go to the rec room.
Okay, wow. I did not expect things to turn this way. This is really interesting. Wow. Okay. So you all assemble back to the rec room. Everyone. August to Bear to the whole shebang. And Killian's not here.
What?
Roberto or Robbie Falcone doesn't sit down. He just stands. And there's still a look of shock on his face. When he first came on board, he had the confident sneer and the piercing eyes of a, for lack of a better word, a lifelong detective, right? Now he looks like a man who's just been shown a ghost, a real ghost. And he says, I want you guys to stop me when I get this wrong. I look at the evidence. I look at the at the big ship. I look at the secret missions. I look at the bugs in your compartments. I hear things such as cameras being planted and secret missions and rumbles of the Baron. I'm not a stupid man. I know my employer, the one who employs us all, is a powerful man with a lot of influence. You're not from orbit, are you? You're from another place. You're aliens, aren't you?
Nora's not saying anything. She just has her arms crossed.
Tom
We're
has the dumbest
definitely.
fucking look on his face.
Poor Falcone, he's so close, but he's so wrong. But hey.
No, definitely humans. Well, I mean, besides, the ones that don't look human, as you prefer them to be called. Mutants. There you go.
Yeah. Mutated, cats and dogs that were up here in orbit. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm right, aren't I? I can see the way the looks you're giving each other. You didn't get blasted when you came through. That's how you know so much about these canal lines.
Sure, let's go with that.
You can say we're experts.
We've already said that, Tom.
Yep. I don't like where this line of questioning is going. I don't like it at all.
Oh my god, bad news. He really wants some answers now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's gonna say, so you're aliens. So what did the Baron... The Baron could have hired anybody to go on to this Mars mission. Why did he hire you?
Before we go on this line of questioning, just so I make sure, because I'm still concerned about the man who may be possessed, is he free at this point?
Yeah,
Falcone tilts his head and he says, "Why are you so interested?"
Because remember the cameras? And I did note that, he was very specific to not have them be tampered with. He's definitely knows that they exist and he can monitor them. So if he is possessed, any information we give to you, he will also have.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're right. Hey, hey, not Killian.
Depending on if he is or isn't still in custody, if that was what happened.
Custody, Falcone says. Killian is the commander. We don't put him in custody for no reason, but it's clear that he's acting strangely. I'm not going to go into details as to his exact whereabouts, because right now, I don't really know who to believe in all of this. But I will say that in a situation like that, you undergo a rigorous medical examination.
Oh, us?
No,
No,
him.
Him. Okay. Ah, yes. Trying to find the illness. We still have our notes from the time that we obtained him and checked our own. We also noted to him specifically that doing a seizure of any kind would have physical markings on the brain, which there wasn't any. I'm assuming through your scans he changed that?
Mm-hmm. He changed that. Well, what are you talking about through his scans? He changed that. I'm confused as a GM.
As a GM, so when we were
Yeah.
talking to him last time, we actually noted that specifically that he wouldn't have any, not having
Yeah.
any brain stuff, and he said, I can change that. Um,
Oh, yeah. He did.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
so,
Give me.
hmm?
No, nothing. I'm gonna just get us back on track here then.
Okay.
Actually, we'll say during this, I don't like to take over Al's character too much, but I think it's fair to say that he would actually share the readouts that he got
Oh yeah.
from Killian
Yeah.
with him right now. So he's looking over them right now as Patrick is talking. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Patrick. Keep on going.
So, yeah, I'm a little concerned about talking where all the cameras are. So, if you'd like to talk to us in another environment that he might not be eavesdropping in, but you have anything that you'd like to be in there, I think that might be best to be maybe on another ship.
Falcone pauses for a moment and he says, I have a proposal then. Nocturne needs the Rhapsody. She is now the commander in charge. And when... Oop, give me a moment. And when Miss Riley is in command, you guys know that Nocturne's actual name is Samantha Riley, right? That's just her call sign. Everyone calls her Nocturne, unless you're being super formal, like he is.
Mm-hmm.
Says, and Miss Riley not only has to worry about her superior commander acting strangely, but we still have an objective to meet. She needs the Rhapsody in order to maintain this. So I propose a compromise. I've learned a lot here already, far more than I anticipated. And although I can admit there are some things that I don't understand, I don't know for sure yet about your story about something inside its head, or it's you manipulating Killian. To assay those fears, this is what I suggest to meet both objectives. Come aboard the Razor's Kiss. You will not be arrested, but you will be detained for observation, mostly by me and a few other personnel. We'll talk things out. We'll figure things out. That way, if you act up, we got plenty of people armed to the teeth who are ready to take you out. And in the meantime, if this takes a few days, then we can have someone crew this ship and continue to use your botanical bay in order to create more pollen extractions, in order to use your facilities to come and go from the planet, continue communications with command, and make sure and maintain scouts on the ground to ensure no bugs interrupt the surveying team. And there's no cameras on the Razor's Kiss that I'm aware of.
Patrick surveys how everyone else is taking this.
Nora is doing the same.
Tom seems nervous, and it looks like he wants to say something, but he's, like you said, nervous.
I will speak for everyone. I think this will be sufficient.
Okay, good. He says, and Falcone looks at you guys with a new wariness. He says, I'm going to make arrangements. prepare to be prepare to come aboard the Razor's Kiss in 15 minutes. And with that, he begins to do some radio communications. Now, as he's distracted, communicating with the Razor's Kiss, trying to get a channel to Nocturne, tell him what he's found out and what the next steps are going to be. Oh, you hear some barking from Tom's room. Hannibal's been put away there, and all the humans are gone, and no one's played with him in such a long time.
Tom's eyes will widen.
Can Nora shoot a message to Tom, or try to telepathy?
Sure.
She's
If
going.
Tom actually doesn't resist, he doesn't even need to make
I
a
was gonna
saving.
say she's gonna go. She's gonna say Tom under her breath. If he is he nearby? He's pretty close,
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess.
You can say
Oh,
it.
yeah.
She'll say Tom, and then like kind of look at him, and then she'll shoot the message.
What's the message say?
Message says, "Can we
Kill that
pretend
dog.
Hannibal is also magic, like the bird."
Tom will nod.
She'll give a worried look.
And
Not
Tom will-
convinced.
Tom will wish that he could communicate blah blah blah,
Telepathically.
with his mind telepathically. Thank you. That's the
No
word that
problem.
I was stumbling over.
But wishes are not fishes, my friend, so you can't.
Nope.
No.
Um,
Alright.
if you'll excuse me, I need to deal with something.
Killian is too busy trying to get a channel to Nocturne to notice.
He will run out of the room.
Ah! Okay, what do you do, Tommy? Tom?
I'm going into my room and I'm going to kind of calm him down.
Oh, but he's so happy. He jumps up on your hips and he starts licking at your hand.
Okay,
He's
okay.
not barking, though.
Yeah, as long as he's not barking, I will entertain him for a
He
while.
loves you.
Aw.
Good.
Aw.
Yay, dog!
Barf.
Bark.
Barf.
Barf. Alright.
Barf. You sound like
Barf.
bear. Actually, when you did that barf.
Oh no.
Bear.
No.
Bear.
Bear would never
Barf.
bark. He's too
Barf.
dignified.
Rarf.
Bear spits out a gold coin. Okay. So after we'll say about 30 seconds, we'll say closer to a minute or two, Falcone will turn around and he'll look at you and he'll be like, "Where is he? Where's Tom?"
I believe.
Wait, what? Nora
Yes.
like zoned out.
I believe he's taking care of, I guess some noise.
Roll me a D100.
You know, out of character, you could have said he needed to poop. I'm fine with that.
Too late. And he
God
says, "What
dang it.
noise?"
What noise isn't coming from Tom's room?
Oh,
Do you want me to go
wait.
get him?
Wait.
No, I think
You-
I'll go to him. Mm-hmm.
Did you say my room? Or would it be
Yes.
somebody else's room? If it's my
your
room,
room.
that's impossible.
Hmm?
It's
What?
soundproofed.
Oh yeah.
Wait, but that doesn't matter though.
Oh my god, that became super handy.
Wait,
Yeah.
but that whole scene didn't happen because we
No,
wouldn't
it-
have heard the barking.
The door was open. The door was open.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom's door
Door's
to his
open.
room was open.
Okay.
But now it's closed because Tom's in there.
Oh.
Okay.
Do we want to start that again? Here, let's start this again. I'm gonna give you guys
Sure.
a different. No. Everything with Tom is fine, but we're gonna stop back with Falcone. Turns away, puts down his radio, and he says, he looks around for a moment, and he says, "Where's the other guy? Where's Tom?"
What? Nora still wasn't paying attention.
God damn it! This is like Groundhog Day. Tom. your pilot.
I believe he was taking care of something.
What isn't he taking care of these days?
Enough of the cryptic answers.
Ah,
You realize I'm trapped on a ship now with a bunch of aliens, right? Maybe
Oh, that's
let's
right.
be a little
I'm
bit
sorry.
clear.
I'm sorry. I forgot. My bad.
Should I get him or?
Yes. I want to keep you all in my sight for now until we're aboard the Razor's Kiss.
Okay.
Nora will hold up her hands and stay where she's at.
I'll go.
Okay. So, as Patrick goes to retrieve him, Falcone looks to Nora and he says, So, you still want to have that top secret information locked inside away? Or is now a good time to start spilling the beans?
Oh, you're gonna have
I think
to
at
work
this
a lot
point, the more
harder.
Do you think this is a game?
to deal with?
No, it's
Yeah, I
not
know,
a
right?
game, but I've been around a couple times. The block. I think I got that phrase wrong. Anyway. I know how this goes.
Where are
I've
you-
dealt with this before.
Okay, around the block. Which block? Where are you from? What's your planet's name?
It's the planet,
You're such a bitch. You're
planet, let's go with Space Rock.
Roll me a D100. Make it roll me a D100 and add 15 to it.
Yeah, no, I'll add like 20, well, 5 more. Because, yeah, she's not even trying.
Oh. You know, every time you bullshit me, that just tells me more about you, right? Just in a different way.
Yeah, sure it does. Listen, these guys, they'll help you out, I'm sure. But you're not gonna get anything from me.
Oh, don't you care what happens to you?
I'm sorry.
Don't you care what happens to you?
Now that's a question, ain't it?
Yeah, that's why I asked it. That's why I said that word with that little question at the end.
She smiles. Why don't you figure that out for yourself then?
He says, I think I'll do just that. Okay, back to during that's more than enough time during that conversation to Patrick to go to Tom's room. What you do?
He wants us back, Tom.
Okay. What are we gonna do about Hannibal while we're gone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know this dog that was making noise and I had to take care of.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Food, right.
Ooh.
It's not even food. It's food and cleaning up after him and taking him for walks and making sure he doesn't, make noise. He's probably gonna have to stay in my room, and we need to make sure that nobody else goes into my room.
Well, I'm not quite sure
we
if we all need to go. There should be at
To the
least
Razor's
somebody.
Kiss?
I'm pretty sure he wants us all to go.
Oh yeah.
Every
He
single
wants
one
you
of
all
us.
there.
Yeah.
Nobody.
They're a bunch of aliens. He's not letting you out of his sight. Of course he wants all of you.
But who's going to ship if no one's here?
Network people.
Hmm.
Oh. How droll.
Mm.
Fucking noises.
Patrick says there, I don't know.
Okay, I want to continue on, but you guys feel like you really need to
Oh.
figure out this Hannibal thing first, right? So I'll give you time
yeah.
to figure that out.
I'm not okay with moving on until we figure out what we want to do with him.
Okay. Well, Nora suggested to pass him off as magic.
How?
Just like
To these random people that are gonna be on here.
Who says he can't come aboard the Razor's Kiss with you?
Yeah. We could leave it a mystery. Nora would be like, maybe it's magic or maybe it's an alien.
You are gonna, at the end of this, I don't know if Falcone's gonna want to kill you or ask you out on a date.
I'm having so much fun. I feel like a femi fatal.
All right.
You know what? You fatal.
A
Chris
femme
pronounced it
fatale.
right.
That's how my mom pronounced it one time, and I love it.
So
All right.
out of character, do you guys want to do this? Try and take him aboard the other ship
Sure.
and show Falcon. Okay.
Is there
You know
anything you
what?
can do to make him look more
Why
alien?
not?
Put,
I-
put little antennas on him.
I can change his voice box when we get the voice changer.
Not for another 24 hours. And
that
oh my
would've been
god.
Great. You
Oh
could've
my
even-
god. What? Oh my
Oh
god.
God, I figured it out, guys.
What if we
I'm
were?
sorry,
to
we're
use the-
digressing a little bit, but this is it. This is what you do to him.
Okay.
That is great.
Okay.
I just had an idea though. Could we make him talk?
No.
The voice changer?
Apparently, that is not able to be. We actually tried to like have like different languages and things like that. It just doesn't work.
So
Right.
like we can have him like with Patrick's voice going arf.
Yeah, but it won't
With
translate. Yeah.
Nathan's voice.
Arf.
Okay. Okay.
Bark rough.
I'm sorry. Bark rough.
Whimper.
All right. I'll put his leash on him. And then walk him over to where everybody else is.
Oh boy! Oh, poor Falcone. I think his brain is gonna melt.
This was a decision out of character, and I'm going to do it.
All right, let's do it.
Patrick is
Do
just
it.
like, why don't we just take him with us?
Yeah.
Tom had a mini stroke, and out of nowhere he went okay, and then almost having an out of body experience, he put the leash on him and is leading him over in a daze.
Okay.
This will work, Patrick thinks in his mind.
So Falcone. Oh my God. So Falcone, when he smile, he gives he's been too busy sparring with Nora for him to be pleasant, so he gives a very, very thin, sarcastic smile to Patrick as he comes in, and then Tom as he comes in. He looks down to see what's on Tom's hand, and then he looks to see what the thing in Tom's hand is connected to. And this time he actually sits down. He sits down on a chair and he says, "Is that a original feral dog?"
Maybe it's magic.
Tom will very slowly nod.
Maybe it's magic, he says, and he starts to go for his pistol again.
Don't you
Or
fucking
an
dare.
alien. Nora like
This
the-
one will die if you shoot it. Patrick will no.
or an alien.
Yeah? Oh, changing your tune so quickly now, huh, Nora?
For the first time, Nora breaks her sarcastic demeanor, like her eyes are widened.
So he puts his thing in his pistol in there, and he goes, "Actually, wait. I just need to see if Falcone is smart enough. No, he was smart enough, but I want to see if he figured out in this short period of time." He's gonna say, "The sarcastic answers. Dog the canal line knowledge. You're not aliens. Not traditionally speaking. Holy shit. You're from Earth.
Nora doesn't say
Tom is
anything.
then having a mini stroke and internally freaking the fuck out.
And Falcone is more whispering to himself. That's how you know the Baron. That's why you have your own ship. That's why there are cameras watching you. Who else knows
And it
this?
could. Nocturne, I think. And a few.
Actually,
other
Nocturne doesn't
handful.
know.
Oh, okay.
As
Yeah,
far as
nobody-
you know out of character, it's Killian and the 4 guys who are surveillance experts. And the Baron.
I will start listing off the 4 guys that are.
Nora's eyes glare at you.
You stop halfway through, I think.
Yeah, stop halfway through. So,
Falcone is silent until the Razor's Kiss redocks with you. And hearing that metallic thunk as the airlocks sync up again, he actually kind of gets up with the start. He was lost in thought for a few minutes. In those few minutes of silence, do you guys want to do or say anything? I know what
So-
Hannibal's going to do. Hannibal's going to go up to the stranger and start sniffing at his leg. And Falcone just kind of looks at it stupidly.
that's fine.
That's
gonna
Mordecai's faithful watchdog.
We're either going to need to have one of us stay behind for the dog or bring it aboard. I don't know about bringing it aboard because then there's more people that will see it.
So you thought it was a good idea to just bring the dog?
It was not my idea, it was his. And he will point to Patrick.
Patrick. Nora expected this from Tom, but not from you.
Well, I don't think you do very well just sitting on the ship. This
Nope,
is our
we need
best
food.
bet.
And walks. And be cleaned up after.
So there's a radio. You can hear a buzz in the little earpiece that Falcone was using as a radio. And in fact, Nora, your hearing is keen enough to actually pick it up. And it says, Lieutenant Falcone, we're ready to dock. We're ready to bring him aboard. Do you read us? But he's not responding at the time. The earbud is actually out of his ear. And he says to you guys, and he says, give me a reason to think that you're not the ones behind Killian's madness.
Well, if we had any sort of malicious intent, I think we would have done a better job than having him run madly and say he's trying to kill us away. For one. Two, we haven't done anything to you at all.
I don't know if there's a 3. I'm just waiting as a GM. If there isn't, I'll have Falcone react.
Nora will pop up. 3. I might be a bitch, but my intentions are good.
Oh yeah, he'll believe that. That's it. He's good. No, I'm just being a bitch. You're a stupid bitch.
Bitch.
Okay. And Falcone will kind of give a bit of a half snort at that last thing, and he says, "You do have a good point. You did make 2 good points, he says, narrowing his eyes over at Nora.
She smiles.
Plus, it is in our best interest to make sure that he is okay, because he is one of the few people that knows our secret, and if he were compromised and were to spread that secret to other people, it would be very bad for us. Is that another good point?
Yeah, Falcone's silent for a little bit. And he says, I can't bring you aboard the Razor's Kiss. And then he puts his earbud back into his ear and he says, belay that order, I still have some more questions. Stay docked, but prepare to just receive myself. And Nora, you can hear, even through the earbud into his ear, they ask if he's okay. He says, yes, I'm more than fine. Just coming to the meat of the truth right now. I'll contact you. If you don't hear from me in 30 minutes, assume the worst. And then he'll turn off his earbud. Tell me more about possessions, he says.
Well, possessions in general are a little hard to come by, and they come from fairly powerful beings. A simple control of one's person can be done through many of means, but as a full control and whatnot is a bit harder to do. Making somebody a zombie is, well, not, excuse me, zombie-like, is something that can be done, but only a short period of time, or something, or being that is latched onto somebody. Yes, Tom?
Yeah.
Patrick, why don't we just tell him about this specific one?
Oh, right. Okay.
We know
Sometimes
Excuse me.
We know
So,
specifically what is affecting Killian. And he can say that to
the direct creature that we are looking at here is best means a powerful ghost. A thing that can possess one entity and feed off of it and kind of become it, slowly but surely. Actually, I don't know too much out of character, but I assume that it's one of those things where it locks on one person and then kind of just
feeds on their memories and stuff. And their life energy.
Well, I mean, like, it drains people around them, but...
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All you know out of character is that they can possess people and manipulate them.
Okay.
Like a puppet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a strong entity that can have full control over the person. It's an early stage, so he's more waiting and hiding until he can actually do full commands without anybody noticing. He still needs time to adapt to his new host.
How much time?
Oh god, if I knew that information.
You don't know that out of character.
Yeah.
He's just playing in character. Yeah.
He, well, as much time as he needs to know about his memories and mannerisms, so he can answer questions accurately and fool people into his general gestures and mannerisms. At this point, he can't do that fully, and he just needs some more time, so he's kind of on the back burner at the moment, letting the man be himself until he can grab the reins.
Falcone licks his lips, and he says, "Now here's the big question. How do you stop it?"
Oh gosh. That. I can theorize. It's, as I said, a powerful being. I've only read about it, and this is the first even coming close to an encounter like this. Well, it's new, fertile, and it probably has been waiting, as I said, a long time. It's most likely trying to gather energy at this point. If we cut that off, he might be weakened or starve.
Starved.
Yeah, it feeds off of its host and others' life force.
And psychic energy.
So you say this thing is... What's to stop it from just feeding on Killian forever?
We would need some sort of stopgap, a seal, something. The necklace was a pretty good physical seal, but I don't even know where to start with that one. I would need to do research on this specifically, but there's no book or data packet for this, I'm sure. It's not anything that I can get my hands on.
Falcone. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you mid-sentence.
Oh, jeez.
Falcone will say, if you get enough time, could you figure it out?
He looks to the group.
We'll give it our best shot.
Okay, out of character. Best way to actually get any information or anybody who actually knows about any of this
Is big man.
is the big man. Rather not actually call him up at this point.
Yeah.
God. If you did, he'd just have Falcone would just have a stroke. He'd just die.
Can't you
Yeah.
just communicate to him though, and
Yeah,
maybe
he
ask
can.
a question? Like
Yep,
that?
through the red gem. Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was an emerald.
It was some sort of necklace thing.
Yeah, it was a necklace. Anyways,
Oh,
we could say, hey, sorry for communicating with you, but we have a problem that might make it impossible for us to get you the bugs. Do you know anything about this possession thing?
Okay, I will say this. We can try to communicate with someone who would know this information, but you remember those two bugs in the chamber?
Do you?
This is to the guy.
This is to the guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you
No, this is to the guy.
And he says, yeah.
He
He doesn't want to be bothered until we have 3 pairs of 2, because those bugs are for him.
now, if you say no to this, I can tell him that we are at an impasse and this is going to be something of a stopgap for us, and he might listen at that point. But at the moment, that would be the best way to communicate with him, is if we get the other two pairs.
Yeah. Patrick?
Hmm.
He's Tom is going to kind of lean into him and kind of whisper, should we tell him about the invisibility
Whoa.
goggles?
Whoa. Nora's gonna like wave her arms. And like
Okay.
she kinda puts her fingers on her forehead and like looks like she's kind of in deep thought for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
We
Am
have
I
to
getting a transmission?
we have to did we really search that place where we found the gem? Did we look at that?
No, we didn't. Not really. The body was still half buried. We could unbury it.
I thought I yeah, maybe. I don't know. I saw a book.
You saw a book?
I saw a book.
What?
Yeah, it was covered in sand. I don't know what else it could be related to other than this.
Oh,
Has anyone been
fuck's
reading any
sake.
book and they left it on Mars? Nora like points and looks at each and every one of you.
No.
If it is anything to do with this situation, the being that died, while probably keeping this being under lock and key with that necklace, may have held his journal, or maybe something else that he could use to keep it at bay.
Hey, Nora.
Hmm.
Was this a paper book, like a normal book, or?
Yeah, it was like a black book.
Black book.
Yeah, it was black, and then it was kind of sort of buried in the sand. It's
Fuck.
not too deep, but enough that maybe we just missed it.
You know, this would have been great knowledge back there.
Nora gives you the dirtiest look and
I'm
says,
sorry.
"Oh,
I'm sorry.
Tom,
We're,
I'm sorry.
We're trapped.
We're
should
trapped
have told
in
space.
you sooner. I should have known. Maybe you shouldn't have brought Hannibal out for this guy to see."
It was his idea.
Fuck you. She kind of sits down and crosses her arm.
But yeah, should we? What, out of character, should we talk to this guy about maybe the 3-eye goggles?
Right now, Falcone is just very quietly watching you. He still looks a little dumbfounded, but his sharp eyes are still. He's going from person to person as you speak.
So, yes, if we have enough time, we can find this book. If that leads anywhere, we should probably be able to do that. We could probably find a way to obtain something that creature. Now, if that doesn't work, I will try to contact him, because I do not think we're going to get our bugs if
Yeah.
in this situation.
Yeah, very likely not. So that would require going back to Mars.
I would like that as a last move, by the way. I'd rather not bother him without some
Yeah.
results, as he was so keen to note the last time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell are you talking about? No, wait, is this out of character? Yeah, no, this is in
No,
character.
This is in
This was
character.
in character.
Yeah, so Falcone is like, who the hell are you talking about? The Baron? You can't communicate with the Baron. He's too far away.
Let's just say he's a magical contact, and more detail about that would you really? Of course, you would want to know. Um.
You've already had your mind blown like 3
In,
times.
interior, inside Falcone's mind, he's cursing himself for being so relentless and inquisitive right now.
Are you sure you want to go down this
No.
rabbit hole?
He has to. No, he has to. He really does. He's that type of personality.
Fuck.
So, let's just say this person is a. He looks up at where our camera is. Let's just say he would have a lot of information.
Wait, hold on. Do I have... Okay. I could try and send him a message. I have just enough ISP left.
Sure,
What,
if you really
Tyrath?
want to.
No, to
Falcone?
Falcone. Yeah, it'd just be like finish Patrick's sentence, basically. But I don't know how much Nora would want to say. This is out of character, obviously.
Yeah, you guys can suss that out, I guess.
Alright, out of character suggestion, it would be something along the lines of letting him know that you can do psychic communication first.
I'll have to make it quick because this is all the ISP I have left.
Well, I mean, like, you can say to him, like, I'm going to send you a message, because, like, what the message is a lot more important than being able, the other guy knowing that you're a psychic. He knows you're a psychic.
Yeah. This is Nora. Or I mean Mila, damn it.
Alright.
It just confused me.
So, then you can inform him about, if you really want to go into detail, you can say a, powerful creature, that... how do I even explain Tyrath? Even if I wanted to.
Okay, I'll probably, if anything, be like, hey, this is Mila. Tyrath is a very powerful creature that basically knows everything. But he's powerful.
If you could keep
and
this to
might
yourself,
kill
that'd
us.
be great because of the cameras.
I don't know. I can't really think of like what.
Good news, that message got into his head loud and clear. If you want to clean up the message a little bit, I'll let you.
Yeah,
I know it's
yeah.
good at-
Okay. Let's retry that.
Okay.
Hey, this is Mila.
Oh god.
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm sorry, my sister Nora's a bit of a bee.
Why can't Mila send it to him?
Why not? She's
All
in
right,
there.
let's do it. She is in there. Hi, this is Mila. All right, so Tyrath is like this really powerful creature. He's kind of scary, but don't worry, he's nice. I don't think he wants to kill us yet. That'll be the message.
Whoa!
That happened.
Okay. Patrick is just going to be oblivious to this. And
So
sit
is
there,
Nora.
like, still trying to find the words for
Each and
this.
every one of us is completely oblivious to this, even Nora.
She's like, wait, where did my mental powers go?
Yeah, Nora will be like, oh, I feel slightly drained.
Tell me
So-
about it.
Okay, so Falcone rubs his head a little bit, and even though your tone of the voice is different, but with the accent, colors it differently. But he looks to Nora for a really, really long time, and he sighs and he says, "Damn you, Samantha, for getting me into this."
Yep.
He has, like, he knows a lot, generally.
Yeah. You could maybe say that he's our boss.
Yeah, like a magic boss.
Yeah. And you know what? I won't go on. I'll stay right there.
Falcone is just mentally stunned for a moment, and he says, "Back and forth, back and forth. I learn more, and I suspect you less. I learn more, and I suspect you more. Back and forth, back and forth. I was on the cusp, but now this. Did this boss of yours, is he the one who possessed Killian?"
No.
Oh no, he wouldn't waste his time doing that. Yeah.
Oh, if he did that, I don't think he would even care who knew.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
definitely
jeez.
not.
Okay, I'm gonna have Falcone do a check. Okay. You need time?
Why would he waste his time possessing somebody?
Yeah, I don't think he would even care about that.
Don't know. I don't know him. Falcone says, and he's clearly upset.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm
I'm
laughing
sorry.
now, but he is angry. He got people talking in his head. Okay, let me explain something to you. When Falcone woke up this morning, everything made sense in his world. And you have picked up, like a Jenga block, you have picked apart everything that he thought he knew was true. Oh my god, I'm just thinking about this myself, and I'm like, how does this not insane yet?
Like 2 hours ago, he was just on his ship eating
Doing his
some
job.
goddamn like.
He's having a ham sandwich.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
No, I'm just
Not
thinking
really,
like
he's a
cereal or
vegetarian.
something. I would think
Yeah.
that the wheat would be in space. So like cereal. Cereal isn't like too far out there.
Yeah.
So like he's just eating a bowl of cereal with some water because that's all they have. And you know, he comes on here and his whole world is turned upside fucking down. He keeps asking, "Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this?" And you know, we just keep telling him more and more, and he
only
just
has himself to blame.
You know
He
what?
has
You know
himself
what?
to blame.
I'll tell you what. If Falcone was in the Call of Cthulhu universe, he would be mad. He would be mad within 3 seconds. He would know too much too quickly. Anyways, but we're not in Call of Cthulhu. We're in Rifts, where things are equally as bizarre, but not quite as terrifying. Well, it can be. Anyways. But anyways, I have to continue. The more and more I think I know, the more I suspect you, and the more I don't. I've gotten to a point, the first time in my life, where I'm just gonna have to make a leap of faith on a decision without knowing everything, without being certain of everything. I'm going to assume that something is inside Killian. And I'm going to assume that you're not using me for your own ends. And I'm going to have to assume that if there is something inside Killian, like you said there is, then we have no way of stopping it. But you people from Earth, of all places, who have had centuries of living in a hellscape, might have a way of figuring it out.
Yep.
So what
That
do
is
I need to
correct.
do to make sure Killian doesn't die?
He doesn't die. Because possession shouldn't have. If the possessor even tried to kill its own body, I think that would be worse for him than anything else. So I don't think custody would kill him. He wouldn't All right.
Out of character, I know and you know that the possession entity, Patrick knows that possession entity just possesses people, right? He doesn't kill them. You're right. Well, why would you want to kill your host, right?
Mhm.
But all this stuff you told Falcone, he is a little scrambled in his brain, right? You've talked about
Right.
draining his power and stuff like that. So to him, he thinks power is, his life, right?
Right.
So there is a purposeful misunderstanding with this NPC.
Okay. No, he's trying to think of it going like, all right. If you want to save him, the best thing that we can do now, because we do not want to anger our boss a lot. we you have no idea.
I'm sorry. Just, I'm now imagining Tyrath as your boss, and you have to like punch in a clock and shit. Does you like weekly reviews and like shit like. Anyways, I'll shut up.
You have been these past few days.
Al, I've gotten complaints from Nora that you have a bleeding heart. What do you have to say
Free
for yourself?
cheese.
Who stole
cheese.
$10 out of the till? I'm looking at you, August Key. All right. Anyway,
Better do it. Nora will also pipe up that what about that book?
Yes, I
It
think
might have something in it.
I
I
interrupted Patrick. I'm sorry.
It's funny.
I think we should probably not ignore your suggestions. They've been correct. I don't think it ever has been wrong.
No.
So I think best bet would be to look for that, and if that doesn't work, we're gonna have to cross our hearts and hope our boss is okay with the call.
Falcone will say, so you need to get back onto Mars?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Gonna make another deal with you. You don't go on the Razor's Kiss, but I'm gonna have to get back on there soon. I'll talk to Nocturne. I'll tell her. I'll lie to the person who just hired me, who entrusted me, and I'll tell her that it's inconclusive. I'm not too sure exactly what the truth is, and I have to talk to Killian, and I need to do more investigation. But for now, I don't think you guys are a threat to the operation. And considering how important things are on the surface with the canal lines, it wouldn't be a risk to have you go back down to supervise. I don't know if that's a lie. He pauses for a moment. It's just something I'm not sure is the truth. You understand? Because it is true. We are going to need as much help as possible. And it's true that I don't know if you guys are a threat or not. But I'm not used to only giving my boss a half-assed answer. But it'll get you to where you need to be for you to get back to that corpse. And the other thing is that he purses his lips a little bit and he says, I'm going to have to talk to Killian, get his side of the story of everything. But I'm going to come down on Mars with you, I think.
Alright.
Sure. I mean, you already know our dirty fucking laundry, so I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. Either myself or Nocturne will communicate and let you know when it's safe to land. You'll probably have to deliver more of those pollen emitters to the scouts that are around the area of the canal intersection points.
Mhm.
Okay. They're buzzing in my ear. I should go now. Back onto the Razor's Kiss. Don't. He pauses for a moment and he says, I think it's going to take 5 years for me to process everything that you just told me.
Oh, you have no idea.
But all I can say is I hope I took the right chance. And unless you have anything else to say to him, he'll unboard. He'll get back onto the Razor's Kiss and he'll detach, and you guys will be back alone on the Razor's Kiss. I mean, no, not on the Razor's Kiss. On the raft.
We teleported.
Your ship. Tyrath
What?
is
Tyrath?
You
I
did not
did
give
possess
me
it.
TPS.
It was me the whole time. I am the thing.
When you wake up, you will be talking pigs.
I see.
I'm
Mama
gonna need you
from
to come
Screen
in
and Way.
on Sunday.
Plus, I have family.
I do not care. You should be. Never mind. All right, but no, you're back
That
on the
is a
raft.
nice stapler you have there. It would be a shame if I were to take it.
Oh my god. It's become. What's his name from Office Space?
Exactly.
The boss.
No, the guy.
Oh,
No, Milton is the guy
not
that
Milton,
gets
yeah.
picked on. Brockheim? No, like. It starts with an L, doesn't it? Oh, we're becoming besides the point.
Yeah,
okay,
that's-
guys.
Yeah, not important.
So,
Lindbergh.
I'll be honest with you. Thank you, Lindbergh. That's right, Lindbergh. She fucked
Lumberg.
Lindbergh once. Lumberg. All right. That was a random quote. I'm sorry for anyone who had no idea what the hell I was talking about. Watch Office Space. All right. So, I'm tempted. I'm tempted.
Two?
Do you guys want to go back down to Mars right away, or do we want to call it up here in orbit?
Ooh, let me check
I
the
don't
time.
mind either way.
Ooh, we might want to call it because it is getting directly to that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
take
call
it.
it.
We'll
save-
give him a little present when Squee returns.
Yeah. Oh
So
boy.
we talked
Oh
to
my
a
God.
guy.
You know what? Squee's gonna be happy that for once he's not the one who spilt the beans.
It's true.
I remember it was like 5 in-game days from when he met you to when he told you he was a spy. So I think Squee's gonna appreciate and be like, you know what? This wasn't me. I think
Who said magic, by the way? Because I don't think I actually did.
no.
Oh, I
but
did.
I sure as fuck didn't.
I did.
Oh,
Oh my
Jesus.
god, by the way, it was so fun to play Falcone with you guys independently because I would like lie to you guys and be like, yeah, she told me this or he told me that, right? Because that's what actual, like, I took an inspiration from like actual detectives
Mhm.
and they do that shit.
Yeah, I was
They-
taking inspiration from all of the femme fatales I've seen in movies where they're just like coy and just like she's not gonna lie, but she's like, how much of this is he even gonna believe? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so we'll call it here, but that'll be fun. So in this session, we'll stream for a few more minutes,
Mhm.
but
And then I brought Hannibal into the room.
oh my god.
And
Poor-
everything
I like
connected.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually would have preferred it to end it here anyway, because I, like I said, I like to get in the heads of my NPCs. I give them a personality and motivations.
Mhm.
But now I have to really reassess. Like I wasn't kidding, Falcone. He woke up a completely different person than he is now. So this will be really
interesting.
Yeah,
I love
think
that.
so.
It's like, what could it be? Oh, just do some like freaking Merlin shit. Like I got a pigeon. Poof.
You know what's really funny is that I didn't forget that I gave you clay pigeon, right? But I did actually forget that that would be something that you could conjure, and I didn't give you an impossible task, right?
Mhm.
But that was another moment where Inferno got so much in character, he didn't realize that he was playing. Well, I realized I was playing a game, but like this, it's like Lee saying like, "Why don't you come away with me for a while?" Right, which is NPC saying something that could really fuck up the game.
Yeah.
And Falcone could have given like, prove it to me, and he could have asked for something that you couldn't do, right? I wasn't in that DM's mindset being like, no, I got to give them a chance to prove themselves. So I got to do something they can do, right? So I didn't take a moment to look through your spell list or anything like that. I just was saying what was in character.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that it worked out the way it did. I mean, it could have worked out the other way too, where you couldn't prove it and would have gone a completely different direction. But I'm glad that sometimes my complete immersion in the character doesn't completely fuck up the game.
Yeah, it was
Works
a
out,
nice challenge that I luckily had an answer to. I was thinking like, day globe? Nah, that might be like that could be anything. Pigeon? Classic magic stuff? Yes. And a side note, I don't have any magic left.
Yeah, I'm all out too.
I am spent.
This is gonna be interesting.
From floating chair to that thing draining my PPE to casting freaking magic pigeon.
Wait a second. Floating chair happened like a day or two beforehand. So you would have recovered some PPE.
Okay. Then I will make note of that.
Let me. Well, while we're talking here, real quick, I'll figure it out real quick. Here, let me just quickly see how the recovery of PPE works. I've had to look at this a few times, so I know exactly where it's at. Well, not exactly, but pretty close.
From what I remember, it has to be meditation or rest.
Yes,
and for the most part, if I just sleep or whatnot at the PPE that I have, if I sleep even just like a standard like 8 hours, I get it all the way back from 0. So.
Well, then there you go. Well, so there you go.
I am at I'm at 15 at this point.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. So 15 more than you had before. Cool. So yeah. Oh, guys, this was really, really fun. We had a bit of a late start. But yeah, no, I thought it was an excellent session. I thought it was very heavy on the role play, but that's what some of the fun is about, right? And you guys are a little bit closer to maybe stopping this entity.
Yeah. Hey, Inferno.
Yo.
What? Only an hour passed, right? When we were waiting for them to dock with us?
Yeah.
Or did... Okay.
Yeah, an hour passed when you were in orbit. Yeah, but before Falcone came aboard. Yeah.
Then this will be at...
By the
I
way,
was just wondering for naturally regenerating ISP.
Gotcha.
magic pigeon's expensive.
It is, but if it wasn't for that, he probably wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it's one thing to say something, right? But it's another thing to. I won't go through the entire mind process of Falcone right now because we're still in that. We're too close to it, you know. But yeah, but I can just say I think it was like, oh my god, the pigeon wasn't like surviving a shot from a pistol and then just opening up its beak and Patrick's voice comes out and poops out.
I'm confused.
I think my favorite part of that whole thing was then later on being like, the dog's magic too reaches for his pistol.
No, he's not. Or an alien. Or an alien.
Let me just try to cast a magic armor of earthen on him.
Nice.
I didn't have any PPE, so I was just like, nope, can't do that.
Actually,
though.
What I figured you were going to do was not the whole pigeon thing, even though that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Use your ring and summon a globe of daylight.
Yeah. See, I thought of that and I'm like, yeah, but he might think that's just an energy thing that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you met a
but
guy who could emit light from his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true, actually. I didn't think of that. But the pigeon was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ain't no mutant power that can summon a pigeon. I'm sorry. Put that as my
Now, mutant
tagline.
power.
I want to be a
Yeah,
mutant
Jeff,
that shoots pigeons. Just clay pigeons at people.
Sorry, you were saying, Piph?
That'd be great if that was a mutant power, though. Just shooting pigeons at people.
I am Pigeonor. Hoppa! Okay. Are you still streaming there, Piph?
Yes. Shall I bid everyone adieu?
I think so. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
God, that was good.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.